Blessings and welcome forward to Reasons Right here to share life from your host, The Great Out, in the presence of my co-host, Brother Ramon Singh. Perfect love. Perfect love. Yes, I have to get my sweater on because it's winter and we don't have snow per se, but it's cold and Mandeville is cold. Where I'm from is cold as well in Kingston, but Mandeville is very cold. So, yes. And so we're coming to the close, and we're actually at the close now of, Works of the Flesh. I'm really happy I went through this series because, even though the negative that happened, hallelujah, I've been learning a lot and looking at the depth of the information presented in the Bible. It's truly our book of testament, accounts, and prophecy. It really is. It really does have the human condition psychologically woven into the fabric of all of its teachings. And there is, hallelujah, absolutely no doubt about that. So we're at the point where we're going to talk about revelings. And revelings have to do with wild partying. Party animal, party! Party! I'm an animal. Ooh, I'm an animal. Yeah, party animal, wild, reveling, wild, abandon, reckless, let loose, lascivious. Like all the combination of all of the low freak ass behavior come together in revelings, It's like people literally live to party. And why does it seem so bad? Because most of life isn't directed purely to the pursuit of excitement and fun in that exuberant, experiential manner. It's like partying, or when we talk about drunkenness, it's like it invites a certain kind of a lifestyle, which is usually degeneration, because you can't keep the concordance that would have been more like a spiritual, or righteous, or religious, meditation, maintaining something of substance. A reveling life, say, you party every day. Usually I go drunk every other day. So drunkenness and it, as I said, they go hand in hand. Usually I go drunk or frost, high on Molly. Did you say something? Did you just say something? Did you say that? Man, you're speaking solo. Dude, I barely opened my mouth. Man, you shouting, man. Stop shouting, dude. Yeah. It's like they live, hallelujah, that lifestyle, that alternative lifestyle that messes with the whole biological function of normalcy. Your faculties all over the place. Yeah? You dress the part, You're dressed for it. You carry your party clothes in your work bag. That way, they always say Jamaicans can party, But I've seen some parties, they're obscene. That's another word that comes with obscenities because, enough time people, they are not going to be decent. It's revel, they're raving, they're far out. Brother Singh.
Yes, bro, I agree at all. Man, because enough of these parties where young people go, usually I saw it end up happen, Some wild, erotic dancing and it end up in some sort of sexual things happening after the party as well. Mm-hmm. Or even during, wild, free, them just drunk and anything. Like the most I say, if you have to celebrate, not overdo it.
True.
Nobody keep no party or extend throughout the whole night. Yes, like too much wild behavior. And you can see, the most I sure we said it not right. We feel humble, glorify the Most High in your achievements, Give thanks, in secret to the Most High. I know nothing for you shout and dance and I tell the whole world, and I go on all the most way. Careful of your actions in the earth.
That's true.
You don't want to be seen as a follower of the Most High, a follower of the faith. And then them see you at a wild party acting up all this way, dancing, You not glorify the Most High in this behavior.
Absolutely not. It's like the toga parties and they had at this hotel they call hedonism 1, 2, and I think 3. You know, the word hedonism has to do with pleasure, pleasure seeking, and everything is like Epicurean pursuit, all about pleasure. So you find that hedonist, you know, and hedonism is a part of the whole culture of reveling. So you mentioned the sexual orgies and such, or the sexually charged, you know, encounters and behaviors. You know, it is heavy amongst a certain group of people. When you get older, you know, it might be the swingers parties where the older couples are. You know, this is kind of a mixed parties and such. But for the young people, it's definitely these orgy parties. You know, that the group sex. You know, especially because I mean, a lot of sexual activity now is very Machiavellian. You know, and it's short-term sexual pursuit. So it is like literally, it's pleasure seeking, it's thrill seeking. It's like a Saturnalia, Brumalia party all throughout the year. And you all know what those parties are about. Just total lewd, wild. They are what we call the battery, right? Which is an absolute mock of everything that would be of the healthier side of human sexuality. They go the opposite. And this kind of culture is like now dumped into entertainment. That's where it is situated. No, that's exclusive to entertainment. No, that the entertainment lifestyle literally makes, I guess, an individual sometimes of split personality, because one, they're in the business world, the work world, for the 9 to 5, and they're one person, right? They're Jane, and then they're SJ in the world of 5 to 2 a.m. So they're Jane and then they're SJ. And SJ's got purple hair and tight leotards and fingernails that's, you know, yeah, it's curved like hawks, talons. It's like it makes the most brilliant minds become altered into some, I would say, Orwellian or some Darwinian fantasy, right? They become their spirit animal. They become their ultimate form. You know, wild, right? And it seems like it's an endearing thing to do because, you know, there's always this release of endorphins, right? So I think that's why I think a lot of people revel, because there's this absolute release and abandonment. It's like you abandon the restrictive personality and the restrictive persona that you develop through, well, the things that you gotta do rudimentarily, structurally, arbitrarily. You gotta work. You gotta be a sane, constantly programmable personality, Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and then from 5 to 2 a.m. 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. you're somebody else. That breaks all those conventions. And that's the only way a lot of people can survive. The problem with it is that you can't be two persons in one being, in one body. That is ultimate double-mindedness, confusion. And that is why people who live this kind of lifestyle is messy. There are always going to be commitment issues. And say you become this way over time and you got kids. You can just imagine the kind of experience you'll be having with your children, right? That you'll be unable to be fully there. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because the reveling life is like, it seeks devotion. I'm not talking theoretically. I'm speaking theoretically unless I'm saying theoretics, right? I'm talking from my culture. In Jamaica, it's well known. I'm talking for Aboriginal culture wherever we are. It's well known, mothers and fathers. But mothers are considered the caregivers for young children, right? Fathers, providers. So whether they are good or not is not the issue. The issue is these mothers have been well known to leave their kids at home alone to go to the party spot on the block, on the corner, down the alley, few stories down on the building. They have been known to go and leave their children in adverse risk to maintain the party life. Some will say that's how bills are paid. Some will say she works the night shift, if you know what I'm saying, right? Right? Some will say that, right? So there is a reveling culture that you can feed your kids a conventional way because you don't have the duality. You're just all in the reveling, right? So the kid's going to grow up, your children are going to grow up around strip club, strip joints, Yeah? And you're like, who are you to judge me? See, there are stages in life when people refer to it in a way that is seemingly judgmental. We say, why are you judging me? And you don't think they're judging the condition and the state of life, but you say, why they're judging me? As a defensive mechanism, I'm judging the state of mind and the lifestyle. That's what we're talking about. Behaviors that does not have to occur, but occurs because of compunction, because of choice. Not about the individual, but the choices the individuals have made, because the choices aren't arbitrary, they aren't fixed. So an individual chooses certain behaviors, temperaments, that negates responsibility, right? So because they negate responsibility, they have to make do with what is available. And certain lifestyle comes with the reveling. And that's why their kids are growing up, the children are growing up, or the child is growing up around this lewd behavior, being exposed to many men coming over, because that's where her business is, at home. So revelings in the looseness of it isn't just in the club. That lifestyle spills over into every aspect of our realities. Those who are engaged in it and those who are not engaged. Because he might be a pimp leading that kind of a way of life where young ladies are selling themselves that way. And you deep in yourself know that if you truly want to be a male figure, a true alpha male to these women, then you would earn by a just and honest means. And if you can't do that, the truth is you would empower them to go beyond using their bodies and the behaviors of their bodies to satisfy the desires of well-being. You see what I say? We don't have to do it. And me saying that means that people not going to do it. You know, this English always trip us up. Something you hear me saying, I hear my lingo cross. I have to study, you know. Because I chat pattern, I really make a mistake like that still, you know. But because we know we are communicating with other people, and you don't have to twang to communicate with English either. But we do that when we're saying to people, when you hear us talking a certain way, we say like this, they say, wow, you know, we're not mocking you, it's just who we are. Yeah, so I'm saying, we know a lot of people are engaged in certain lifestyles. They might live certain life because them say it's the circumstances that take them there. Me as a psychologist, may I tell you that it's not just the circumstance. Circumstances are created out of way of thinking. They're created out of behaviors that come from thought processes and feelings. Deeper than thoughts are feelings, the way you feel about things, right? So people say, well, I am in a predisposition, meaning I was exposed to something without my choice and it engrafted itself upon me, which is part of psychological triggers. But environmental issues have a lot to do with it and also the mind. So what am I saying? It means that, yeah, you could have been selling your body, you could have been going at the club all the time, but you don't have to. And you can start, even if you're not going to stop in the moment that you made up your mind. It might take you a month, it might take you a year. You made up your mind not to sell your body, you made up your mind not to go drink and make money from selling illegal in the club and all over that place and going around. You made up your mind not to go to every strip joint you could find to find a junkie to make a buck. You made up your mind to stop that reveling. You made up your mind. It wasn't because two rats thought they were smart. You made up your mind because you saw the damage it was doing to you, to those you care about. Hallelujah. That's why you made up your mind. And you petition to the Creator, who can truly give strength and courage to your spirit to change. Brother Singh.
Yes, brother, great all. Because even with children, to make sure them now go upon the spring break party. You know, these college parties and university parties. You know, and these nightclubs, and friend I bring them out, I go bar and party all night, and even festivals and meeting this band I play all night. And
Coachella.
No man.
Burning Man.
It is not of God for out and a party all night and a dance and a galavant, you know. And end up with all type of drunkenness and sexual acts. Wrong. You know, even some of these reggae party, you know, certain party and activities, no fear keep whole night.
All day, all night.
Even all night.
Yeah.
At that the most I assure is that certain things no fear keep all night. You there you dance and jump up and down and you know, the person dead. You there you party. A time of grieving, you know?
Yes.
You party all night. The most I don't like them thing them on.
That turned into revelings. Because at first it was like maybe just a celebration of the life and the experience, but then after a while, that becomes a reveling. Because if it continues longer and longer, so I think the parties that would definitely have the title Reveling has won the lewd behaviors and such, but actually they also relate to how long they go. Meaning, if you're gonna go days, because remember they don't only just go night. Some parties go day and night, because some aren't happening in places where there is an effect on the commercial or the residential. Some are in zones where there are no commercial effects too much. In a negative sense, are no residential effects. So if it's a contained space, literally they can be raving for days. And the Lord is just saying it to me. There's another side to it that I guess we never alluded to because we're human and we can't remember everything. That there's sometimes gambling too, bad habits. It's like clubs and these things and parties. Gambling is a part of it too, because people are gambling in more than one way. You got the Russian roulette, you got the card games, you got the tables, you got the this, you got the craps, you got the that. But you also got the gamble on choices, on behaviors, right? Calculated risk, and uncalculated risk as well too, right? There's some general gamble with their mortality, right? They're literally risking their lives, and I think a lot of the same put in another context. This daredevil, hallelujah. I think he likes that better. The daredevil mentality, it comes with reveling. People tend to want to risk their life when they're high and they're in I mean, I lost that portion of my voice to scream like that, but I would do it, you know. But they just, whoa, you know, just going, and just on the top of their voices, and, you know, and they're just speeding and they're just like, one, they're wrapping up, and they're just like, and they're going, you know, 200 miles an hour in the Maserati, you know, in the Pagani. Right? Right? And then, you know, it's like, yeah, they're letting it all out. You know, just like, abandon, evil, cadaver. Right? That's reveling. That's like mocking God. That's like, they say, staring in the face of death. Yeah? It is sotodara. It's dangerous, you know, and it's promoted as that the most highest, strongest, powerful egotists in this reality. They're the ones, like evil Knievel, like they're the ones that, they're devils, right? That's reveling. That's reveling to its T. They got their clubs, they got their association, they got their gangs, they got their locals, they got the symbols, they got their crest, they got right? And they all hang out together in their clubs, in the back alleys, and they got their own language and their own symbols too, right? And their own codes, right? They mock God, and they go around and create mischief and mayhem. And people who like that stuff, they say, don't you know the crazy boys are coming to town tonight? Wow, we're gonna be wild and crazy up there, man. It's gonna be wild. Oh, it's gonna be crazy, yo. I can't wait for you. I'll be up all day, man. I'll be so wild. Man, we're gonna be lit up in here, bro. You're gonna be explosive. You're gonna be a diamond. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's like that. It's a party of a lifetime. Every other weekend, that is, you know, because, you know, a party of a lifetime should be like once a lifetime. Their party of a lifetime is every weekend. Every weekend is once a lifetime party, brother. We did golden phone, brother. We did golden phone this week. We did champagne fountain, golden foam, and elastic spandex, brother. We're going to hang from the ceiling. It's going to be wild. Yeah. Yeah, you know, you get all excited, getting packed, going to Atlanta for the party of a lifetime. Ain't you? You're going to the party. Yeah, it's just feed to us as culture. Weekend festivals. The Coachella, the Burning Man, or the Woodstock. Because we grew up hearing about Woodstock. Go wild, naked, naked, and you just, do what you want. Nasty. A lot of crazy stuff happens, right? What about the babies that are born without responsibility in those times? You know, the crazy shit, the disease, the kind of stuff that comes from just unprotected sex or just a careless revel. Damage, not just a reputation. You might get yourself a STI. Yeah, you might get yourself a demon or 2 or 3, or get yourself blacklisted from the kind of company, corporation, way of life you've been living. Because some of you have been living double lives, hallelujah, right? You got a pretty face for your corporate image and a nasty ass face for your freaky image, ain't you? Reveling, carnival style. Oh, you thought we were going to forget about you? Oh, no. We ain't forgot about you. Loot in the streets, and then you get the kids to do it too. You right? And then they say, well, this goes deeper than what you think, Jerome. Yeah, I'm sure it always does. Nothing is ever just what I think. Who am I? Nobody, right? But yeah, it's like that. It's like, look at how they dress. And they tell you, in the religious context, they say morality, they say ethics, they want you to take care of their girls, and they want you to take care of the young men. But just look at what they do to them in the streets. They strip them off naked. They dress off naked and strip them off naked too in the streets and parade them around, right? Once a year, you know, so everyone can get down to their Saturnalia self. And then you think that's not having an effect upon kids? Where do you think the morality is going to come from? Right? Where it's going to come from if that's what they're seeing? So that's what we saw. And so we have to have self-control. And say if you can't develop self-control, it might be too late for you when you realize that you've been doing some crazy stuff that puts your life at risk. You might contract something that can't change. But I'm saying if that's not the situation, I'm saying, hey, bite your tongue, bite your lip, punch your face in. If that's going to save you from going out there and ruining your life, yeah, say that you lost your keys, right? Say something, right? Just don't head out tonight. Don't go. Yeah, draw a line in reality and say no more, right? That lifestyle eventually going to cause you to crash and burn. Brother Singh.
Yes, brother, great all. As I say, the carnival, there we have a big party at a certain time period. Basically, people half naked, females half naked in these, you know, what I call flamboyant, flashy stuff, you know, with wings on them back and half naked dancing in the streets, you know, following behind this party trail, you know, partying from morning till night, you know, party, you know, and as a follower of Christ, you shouldn't be found nowhere near that, you know? You shouldn't be in there, in the mix of that. That is the works of the flesh, you know? You should not go Vegas.
Toga line. Join the Toga line.
You know? And I do things at Vegas and I say, well, there's Vegas, stay at Vegas. No. Certain places you're not supposed to be. Certain practices we're not supposed to participate. So I said, no, it's time for me to go to bed. It's time for me to read my Bible. I'm going in. I'm going to talk to the Most High. I don't have no time for this. Exactly. I don't have nothing to do with this. Them can do what them want to do, you know, but me know, sir. Me I go talk to God right now. Me I go read my Bible. Me I take away myself from that.
Yes.
Yes, I.
That's where it's at. We gotta encourage each other in the building and the growing of the faith, expanding, you know, our courage in Yahshua Mashiach, in Jesus Christ of Nazareth, here in spirit of Yod He Vav He, is imprinted his morality in the 10565 gene code, in behavior, in ethics, in deportment. But we have a culture that is not praising the Most High, that leads us astray, but at least we have the template and the benchmark to which to appeal, right? And the experience of this life will show us that it's not worth it to gain the world and lose our soul. So the reveling seems to be telling us that we have something to gain out there, popularity, position, whatever, but that at the behest of our soul, because we degenerate inside, we lose sense of worth and morality, and after a while, nothing we do have any value to us, yeah, because we just have no morals, no compunctions, but just the lewdness that devalues any person, yeah, it gives them an awful stench, right? Women lose their beauty, men lose their handsomeness, right? They lose their appeal as fathers, you know, as mothers, as creative beings, as inspirational people. Their lewdness takes away stuff, and the secret hidden lifestyles and behaviors ruins good families, and true principle, you know, bad habits ruin good taste, you know. So we can't just constantly not look at these things. Yeah? Our parents who are good to us, who have taught us well, we respect them. But those who didn't know so well and have gone astray, we ourselves, you know, don't have to constantly follow their example. There are some tendencies there, but also we have our own will to do and to be, so we can choose the will to live, to love, to learn, to exact some form of value from life, right? And that comes through our faith. And our faith is in Yeshua Mashiach. So we're just imploring you to, yeah, you know, remove yourself from the driving, attractive force of lewdness in this reveling. Yeah, don't gain the world, lose your soul. It's good to just have a few good folks around you that you can relax and have a drink with, relax and put your feet up and have your special love you can kiss on and make love to. You don't have to go out there and be with everyone that is offering up some idea of excitement. Yeah, we're real people. You know, this is life. We know stuff happens. You know, if you're there, like I say, you know, pray to the Most High. You know, draw a line in the sand. Commit to changing your behaviors. Even if it doesn't happen today, you start today. Start where you are. Make a plan for your future, right? And know that we're gonna meet in a good and happy place where you don't have to strip your clothes off for someone to say, wow, you're beautiful, and appreciate that beauty in a decent and respectful manner, right? Are saying anything else before we flow on out of this series?
Yeah, man, we give thanks for the wisdom and knowledge what the Most I share with we on this series and topics, you know, because it expands my mind so much. You know, it got deeper than just reading and just passing it by. We take with time and go through every little thing, and we learn so much more about the works of the flesh.
Exactly.
And we give thanks for the reasoning, man. Yes, I.
And on that note, you know, like I said, I've been through a lot. You've seen the evidence of my journey through this series, but also I have gotten a lot stronger in my communication, hallelujah, with the Most High. Is returning a lot of strong ways to me. Promised me fulfillment of a lot of things he had already promised me, hallelujah, before. And long and short of it, I can share part of the message. He says, I chose you to do this. Hey, I chose you. So let no one tell you it's about an ambition Jerome has, you know. And if God himself can remind me of that, then I can say it. So I'll keep on doing this. So this series has showed me perseverance and taught me to look back at, yeah, I'm nasty as behaviors that I've had, and some that are still there, and you know, it's in real terms, you know, to challenge your outcomes, because it's our right, it's our responsibility, and with faith, you know, we have an advocate, we have Christ with us, you know. So hallelujah. Yeah, and that's where we're going to leave this series, just saying to you, grow in the works of the Spirit to gain the fruits of the Spirit, the gifts of the Spirit, right? Which affords you the love and the way to overcome the works of the flesh, which we have listed them all out. So until next time, like, share, subscribe, yeah? The Seala Media Experience right here on YouTube, yeah? The Trail Life Experience through all the networks, yeah? The Wizard.com mini/healing session with yours truly. The Patreon ministry where we do all of the, you know, merchandise and such to support the Seala Media business online. And I know a lot of people obviously haven't really taken up the merch, so we just want to implore you, you know, that's a way to donate to the cause, to keep the energy going. Now for those who like sharing and subscribing, you know, telling someone about it, it keeps the algorithm active and keeps us present so that messages can get to you So until we forward into our next series, yeah, I've been Taloku, yeah, the great owl, in the presence of my most magnificent co-host, brother Ramon Singh.
Perfect love. Perfect love.